it's not facing me.
I'm doing this. So here we are. You can see the inside of the van at the moment. We've had a lot of work here, but
Alright, let's start again. Take two.
So
Good morning.
good morning.
We are here on another lockdown Sunday, feeling we're actually in total chaos here. It's a mess everywhere. Several projects on the go in the van and outside the van. We've been making our wine. Well, we made our wine. We bottled some of it. We had to build a huge wine rack. We need to bottle the rest of our wine. Solihin is going away for 5 days on a writing retreat, and so today we're looking at what can we get finished in the van and the rest of our life. We also went to Georgia last week, Tblisi in Georgia, which was absolutely fantastic.
So Georgia is to the east of the Black Sea. So Turkey sort of, if you like, sits on the bottom of the Black Sea, Russia at the top, or Crimea, Ukraine to the left, and then Georgia. And Bulgaria, yes. And then Georgia is on the right-hand side of the Black Sea. Absolutely exquisite place. Very small population of about 4 million. It used to be about 12. I think they've all scattered to different countries. So we've got a full bottle here. We've had our corks in the water. We've got a machine that puts the cork in. It's a bit like a shotgun cartridge. So put the cork in here. All very sophisticated. I think I should probably drop it down to get some weight behind.
Let's try and get them straight this time.
God. Well, that's our first bottle. So our corker was not working a moment ago, so I've rejiggered it, done a few discrete changes of the parameters, and we'll see what happens. So it should that's it. There we are. You've got the strength and the bulk to do that. I must say I'm struggling a little bit when I do that.
They're still pretty chewed up, aren't they?
So here we are. We've just entertained Murat and Bashra, and they are van lifers here in Turkey, and they live in Antalya, but they're over here in Kalkan, and it's been extremely nice to meet them.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you too.
So here is Murat and Bashra's Sprinter van, which they've been doing up. You can see that they've got, I think it's 400 amps up on the roof. There's our jacaranda, a beautiful tree.
If you look in the mirror, and you can keep your
Here is our friend's
not bad.
van. They need to back down. It's fairly dramatic, but it's actually easy to do.
Have you used those insulated things?
So this is the build of our wine rack. So I've done that here. Nicely done. Sort of, we've done it basically in squares, right? So it's like that and like that. So a bottle sits in perfectly. It's slightly elevated so that the cross piece here will actually nestle where the neck of the bottle is, and so that will suspend it, but also prevent it from coming out if there's any earthquake. And I'm actually just basically nailing this with my air compressor, which is great. a surprising amount of wood that you have to use for all the cross beams and the verticals. So anyway, we've done the verticals. Now we'll do the horizontal. There we are. I finished it. I mean, I think probably Alicia will ask me to tidy up a bit here and there, but basically I think we've done quite a good job.
We had to go to Georgia because, well, we had to leave the country to get a stamp in our passport in order to keep our driving licenses valid, which is a stupid rule, particularly during COVID, to make us travel to other places. Anyhow, we decided to go somewhere we've always wanted to go, and we were not disappointed. It was a really lovely city. We didn't get out of Tbilisi, but stayed in the old town, as Solihin said earlier, I think, in a just beautiful Airbnb, very old, 16th century, very charming, needing a little TLC, but just a wonderful place to be based for 4 days and explore the city. And it was my birthday, so I got to celebrate there in a new place. And discovering a new place, again, was lovely, because we haven't for some time, given COVID, obviously, but also in the 3 years before that, we had 4 grandchildren. And so we were traveling to our family and spending time with them. And so going somewhere completely new, although it felt some familiarity because of having lived in Russia, was really a joy, and we look forward to doing more of that in the van.
Well, you could see a lot of the Soviet influence in the sort of surrounding older buildings around in the city. They were sort of rather decrepit and very similar to the ones that we saw early on in our Moscow sojourn. But it was a really extraordinary place. It actually had a feeling of sort of Paris with wide boulevards and trees. It had, as I said, a mixture of Soviet architecture, then Islamic, because they were ruled by, not the Ottomans, was it?
No.
Some dynasty. So it's really a mixture of different cultures. And of course it's Orthodox. Christian Orthodox. Right.
An incredibly rich history and culture. They're one of the oldest languages in the world and have kept their culture. Even during Soviet times, they managed to retain a sense of their own culture far more than a lot of other countries that were under Soviet rule, even though Stalin came from Georgia.
Yes. Anyway, so
back to here. We're in a total mess. There's just wood everywhere, rubbish that needs to be taken away, half-built stuff, sawdust.
But it's coming.
But the van is coming along slowly. So we're just going to get done what we can do today. One of the things we're doing is all the sort of little panels that have to go on, get those finished and out of the way. And Solihin has moved all our electrical down lower so that we can get our sort of sofa bench more the height that we wanted, and started framing up that area and the bathroom. And I think if the bathroom and the bench and the kitchen start to take shape, then it'll feel like we're really getting somewhere.
I'm not going to complete it, I'm just going to frame it so that we will do the outside part of the shower, probably, with T&G, and then I'll start to do the kitchen.
And we have a month until our postponed trip to Italy, to my brother's house with my siblings and their partners and my mother, which was postponed from last week, which is why we went to Georgia, because we thought we were going to Italy to get this stamp. So we have 4 weeks, and the big question is, can we get the van ready enough to drive there? The trouble is we also have to get its certification changed to a camper van and get it re-insured as a camper van and to leave the country. So whether that's possible or not, but it's given us a kind of deadline to push for. But then here he is going off for a week. So
yes, I'm going off for a week to write, which is great.
So we'll just see how we get on, and I feel pretty okay either way. We'll fly if we can't drive. It would just be nice to drive, and
Which would be a four-day
we think
travel, wouldn't it? So I've glued the frame in. This is in. I haven't screwed the edges yet, but I'll do that, that's fine. What I'm doing here is I'm building up the board. Unfortunately, it's slightly off kilter, so I'm lifting it up on the right hand side. I've taken it off so that it actually is level to this sill. Now I'm building up here. I've got to put a piece down here. Rather awkward, but here, so that actually we can put the pieces across here, and then I can pin it to something, so make it solid. The side, if you look down here, so that's what it looks like here. So the the shower unit will come out here. I'm actually making it quite thick so I can insert electrics, etc. And this board will in fact be longitudinal, and it will match these, hopefully. Well, more or less actually, because obviously it's not going to match this one because we cut it down, but it'll match here. And I'll just go up the side here. There'll be no ridge here. You'll just get... Okay, so what I've done here is shaped one of these. Pretty good. And then I've cut this one so that it will sit in here and go down onto the ledge. So it sits pretty well there. Actually, I'm quite pleased with that. And of course another one here. But now I've got to put a furring strip behind here, which is a little bit more complicated. So I've got to put it from here down. So I'll rivet it in here. And I've got to make two bits of ply so that actually it's thick enough to have an equal line here. It doesn't go backwards or anything like that, so it's actually a straight edge, so to speak. The simple idea of creating a double ply. I'm not actually going to glue it, I'm going to rivet it. I am going to put a little bit of glue in here, just to be sure. I'm not sure if I've got enough in here. Let's just lock it in. This glue is extraordinary. It expands all the time. There we are. I have to say, this gun is absolutely wonderful. If I ever wanted a machine, this is it. And I don't have to be terribly careful here. These will go in here, he says, famous last words. There we are. Yeah, perfect. Look, lines up so well. It's very exciting, isn't it? And I'll rivet along here, so that will lock it in. And as they say, Bob's your uncle. So some bright spark had sort of said that using self-tapping screws, they sort of rock and roll during the journeys that we take and slowly come undone, which is slightly sort of alarming, but my feeling is it's actually probably fine. Everyone that we know in fact uses screws. I'm just reluctant. Sometimes I feel as if I'm really a thickie, an absolute amateur. Oh, magic, really. Once it goes in, it goes in. Whew. So there you are, there's the beginning of it. Now for a couple more. So that's going to look good. And then this piece here is wrong. Here's the piece that's correct. That will go like that. There we are. Yes, it's true there'll be a join there, just here, but actually a little bit of paint, etc., etc. We won't notice. So that's looking quite good, I think. I'm quite pleased with that process. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is to use this nail gun to lock in everything. Yeah, pretty good. Make sure it stays. Looks very nice. That locks in quite nicely. This goes here. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. Up. So again, we'll do one this side. And one there. Good. Nice. Slightly proud here. I'll have to do something about that. You don't want to break it. That's it. Get these and get down. There we are. Okay, now, so I've got a slither of wood, and I'm going to put it behind. Oops. I think we can afford to pin that again, just there. There we are. And that can be sanded and doesn't look so bad. Good. Excellent. And these have all been sanded and graded. So Tblisi can't fault me. There we are, last piece in. I think actually I might try and get a better angle on that. Far better angle there, which is great. Good.